beautiful people. Welcome to 321 No Kiddin. Bobby the Awesome speaking, and we are here to do a little daily recovery work. We start out with the reading this morning, and that comes out of the Body, Mind, and Spirit book from Hazelden Meditations, if you want your own. Luke 22:42. Not my will, but thine be done. To surrender our own will may at first seem like giving up life itself. It seems so risky to relinquish control. We may resist at first and desperately look for an easier, softer way before we realize we must simply surrender. In time, we come to believe our higher power can be trusted to comfort and support us, to bring order into our lives on a day-to-day, minute-by-minute basis. Before we lived in chaos and felt terribly alone. In recovery, we can find calm and safety when we surrender our wills and our lives to a higher power. We can witness the powerfully positive results every day. Now the real healing begins. Today, Lord, help me be aware of your will in my life each day. Give me the courage to risk letting go of my own will and the strength to follow your will in recovery. Wow, I think this one's about surrender. What do you think? To surrender our own will may seem at first like giving up life, right? Like we want control. We're gamblers. We want to be in charge. We want to know the outcome. We want to decide the outcome. I could see how that might be a struggle. It seems risky to relinquish control. Oh yeah, not risky. For me, it was my attitude thinking like it wasn't risky. I just wanted the control. It wasn't about what the results will be on the other side. It was just part of my freaking ego. I'm going to drive the bus. We may resist at first and desperately look for an easier, softer way because we realize we must simply surrender. And we talk a lot about this. We talk about it with the step work and just in general, surrender is actually kind of taking back your power. So I don't want to use the word powerless completely. It means just stop trying to control everything. That's kind of what it means to me, and understanding that our will is our will, whether it's because of God, if that's your lingo, or higher power or source or universe, whatever it is. If we just trust that things are happening the way they're supposed to happen, it becomes, our days just, I don't know, it just changes the landscape of everything. And the trick is, if you want to know the trick, in my opinion, is how we frame it in our brains. And this is where, when we say positivity is no gamble, this is one of the reasons why. If you are in a circumstance where you're ready to just hand it over, if it's as simple as serenity prayer thinking or as big as religion thinking, you're ready to do that. Once you do, you can't sit back and judge and go, well, my life sucks and you're not changing it quick enough and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You have to have your eyes open to the blessings and to the things that do start evolving and coming your way. I'm not saying try to force things. I'm saying be aware of them, which ties into all that stuff when we're trying to learn to be present. And, all those things are so that we can be dialed into what we're feeling and experiencing and seeing in each moment. That's, to me, kind of what surrender looks like. In time, we come to believe our higher power can be trusted to comfort and support us, to bring order into our lives and on a day-to-day, minute-by-minute basis. So that's it, right? That's the trust. And it may feel chicken and egg. You may be like, well, I'm trusting and nothing's happening, or nothing's happening, so why should I trust? I'm telling you that if you do believe and you look through the lens of trying to find goodness instead of trying to look forward instead of looking at what's happened in the past and what the negative is, and looking backwards. Because if you're trying to look backwards, you can't walk straight line fast enough, right? You're not going anywhere. Before, we lived in chaos and felt terribly alone. Absolutely. Like, gambling is definitely an isolating addiction. And here's the ironic part. I mean, there's definitely different schools. There's the online gambler and maybe the stock trader who's doing it electronically. But really, for the poker player or the casino person, it's the most alone thing you can do with so many people around, right? Like, you go to a casino, there's 500, 1,000, 2,000 people there, depending on the size of the casino. Or you're sitting at a poker table with 8 or 9 other people, plus the dealer, and you're never more alone than when you're with the bet. You know, like, there's people around you, but chances are you don't even know their names, or you're not gonna know their names, or whatever. They're actually just basically pawns in the vehicle of betting. So the beautiful thing about recovery is we can find the key, calm and safety when we just let it go. Like, I know it sounds so counterintuitive, and here's what I know. And maybe you're here, maybe you're not, but here's what I know. All the time that I thought I could do it my way, and that I could take control, and that I could handle my gambling, and that, you know, if it was, I don't want to gamble this week, or I'll wait until I get, you know, a month where there's a 5th paycheck, or I'll keep notes on the fridge of how much I spent and how much I won, and I'll prove to myself. No matter how much of all that junk I did, I didn't quit, guys. Did not quit. Did not work. So that's part of what I knew. I knew that I couldn't do it by myself. That was part of why I checked into treatment. I had 2 schools of thought with that. It was one, I needed help bigger than me. And the other was, I didn't see myself ever having a position. I didn't even feel like I was comfortable in the position that I did it originally, to disappear from life for 30 days. Like, I was too important, right? Like, the world is going to miss me. I'm going to be gone, and I can't do this. And I don't ever want to go through not having a phone, or being told when I could shower and brush my teeth. And I don't want to do all that again. Like, that was the other thing, was partially maybe punishing myself on some level. Because to me, rehab was the closest thing I'll ever want to get to jail. And it felt like jail to me, at least like from what I've seen on Orange is the New Black kind of jail, more so than, well, I mean, nobody gets murdered in my rehab or anything. And there's not a whole bunch of crazy sex, but the socialization, but then still having, you know, anyway, it felt like jail to me on a lot of levels. I totally digress there. So those were kind of my 2 reasons, because I knew it wasn't working for me. So when we talk about surrender or giving it a chance and just relinquishing it, even if you walked down to a river and just looked at the water and said, okay, here you go. Here's my gambling problem, and like mentally dump it into the river. Hopefully it won't pollute it too much. Or you write down what you want to get rid of and you burn it. Whatever that solution is, do something so that you don't feel like it's just your burden to carry anymore. It could be talking to a person or whatever, but I think that this reading's a little bit more about things more powerful than that, more than human control. So I would give that a little bit of thought. All right. I am going to go do some work now. It's like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock a.m. my time. So much cool stuff going on that I got to get up early. I got to hang out with you. I got to go do things, and just keep the awesomeness coming. I mean, the 30-day email challenge starts on Monday. It's available on the website if you want to join. I'm like just flabbergasted that it's coming together and that I found. So this is kind of like my noisy way to serve. The email challenge will be kind of my quiet way to serve. That way people don't have to, they don't have to necessarily be public about things yet. But they can, like quietly just work on themselves. Not everybody has to shout it from the rooftops like I do. I get it. But we still do all need help. We do all have that in common, right? So I am going to get going. Beautiful people, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will talk to you soon. Thanks.